Hello, Joe Gill here. I know it's been a while. I want to let you know this video is going to be kind of long, but I'm going to talk about marriage and children and all that. And some of you know from watching most of my other videos, know that I've been single, never married, and no kids. Never been married, no kids. And I want to talk about it a little bit, and I'm going to apologize for now, but I'm going to piss a lot of you people off. A lot of people that of you right now are married and kids, but if you really use common sense and you are a human being, or happily have to be one of those rare women who have common sense, you'll know that I'm fucking right. As I always am, motherfuckers. No, I'm only joking. But here, I've been off the grid, and I'm sorry, but I have no more sex travel videos to do. I'm tapped out, but I've been out of commission for about 2 or 3 months because of this. Look, see, this is not my usual setting. This is completely different. Why? Because I have bought a new home, paid in full, thanks to Daddy advancing me on my inheritance. I chipped in, of course, some money for this. That's a spare bedroom. That's the guest bathroom, and here we go. This is my kitchen. I'm living now in the state of Nevada. So I've joined the California exodus of Californian being a liberal fucking shithole. I am a Trump supporter, but that's different. Okay, that's the kitchen. But that's what I'm going to talk to you about. I'm going to talk to you about marriage and kids. And I just saw on the news that less and less people are having sex. See, admire my Robert Plant poster. That's in San Francisco. 1973 tour, as you can tell by his outfit. But I'm wondering if that happens. It's an outdoor concert. I wonder if that happens to be Day on the Green. Then, of course, I got Jim Morrison over here in my kitchen. God, there's a glare. American poet has the year he died, and there's a fucking glare. But anyway, so I've moved, people, and that's what I've been doing for the past 2 months, is going through probate, trying to settle my frickin' affairs with my real estate and all that. But now I'm officially no longer in mommy and daddy's house. So thankfully I used some of mommy and daddy's money to get this house and paid in full or whatever. But I'm in Nevada. I'm out of the overpriced shithole they call the state of California. And voila, here I am. Anyway, marriage, children. Well, I don't know where to begin. It's bullshit, is basically what it is. Look, the funny thing that really makes me laugh is, I'm going to start from this, is how people ask me, everybody. One of the first things people ask you, they say, "So, Joe, are you married? Do you have any kids?" And I say, "No, never been married, never have any kids." Usually the response is something funny that justifies me that I made the right decision. They usually comment to it with a stupid phrase. And it lets me know that it lets me know right away that they've obviously are married with kids, or have been married with kids, or divorced with kids. Usually they say, how the hell did that happen? How did you avoid that? How did you dodge that bullet? Or something to that extent. Which to me is not only a stupid response to my comment, to my answer, but it lets me know that they've been either divorced with kids or married with kids, and they fucking regret it. So it justifies me being single. So if you were to ask me, "Oh, well, don't you feel lonely? Don't you regret it? Or don't you wish this? Don't you wish that?" No. Because if that's your response to whenever you ask me if I'm married or single, or ever been married or ever had any kids, and it's no and no, then you would respond, "Wow, how did you manage that? Or, wow, how did you dodge that bullet? Or, wow, how did you escape that? Or, how did you avoid it? How did you... You know what? You people are fucking idiots. I'm going to tell you right now. If that's your response to anybody who says that, when you ask them a question, hey, are you married? Do you have kids? No, I'm not. Never been married. Wow, how did you... You're a fucking moron. And it's obviously you fucking did it and you fucking hated it. So, do I regret it? No. Because I'm 48 years old. I'm going to be 48 in July. It's May right now. It's May 19th, 2019. And I'm going to be 49 in July 14th. No, I don't fucking regret it. Is it lonely? Well, now where I live, because I don't live in Vegas, I don't want to give my exact location. I kind of live more, let's just say, in a smaller town. But I really don't necessarily. And at this point in my life, I kind of like the damn space, you know? And loneliness is kind of more of a state of mind. It's sort of mind over matter. But anyway, as well as marriage, you can dodge a bullet if something in life is a choice and it's not a mandatory choice. And that's kind of what getting married and having kids. I have a joke about marriage and children. Would you like to hear it? More fucking people take time, more young people today take fucking time to decide on what college or university. I mean, my fucking cousin way back in 1988 or 89, he's like, oh, we're taking Bob. He's going to look at USC. He's going to look at colleges and he's got to decide on what school to go to. Ultimately, right after high school, he decided to go to USC. He was only there for a year, then he moved back to Georgia or whatever. And he ended up going to a university in Charleston, whatever university's out there in Charleston, South Carolina. Anyway, that's a joke. That's one of the jokes. The other joke is when you're sitting at a restaurant. Remember, there's always somebody in the group when you're ordering at a sit-down restaurant. They're looking at the menu and they can't decide what the fuck they want to eat. So it makes me laugh that people take more time trying to decide what they want to eat, more time to decide on what college or university is. But when it comes to marriage and kids, how do you feel getting married, getting kids? But, oh, I want to do it. I know. And I go, that's it. You're sure about that? You want to get married? You want to have kids? Yes. Okay. I've met people like that all throughout my youth. From the time when I was 12 to 15, all the way up to 30 years old. Women especially, they're just like, I want to get married, I want to have kids. And some men have been the same way. Or they say, yeah, I guess so, I think so, or I guess that's the plan. And they just sound like more of a sheeple type of person. Well, you know, that's kind of the path where the kind of cattle and the sheep are going. So I'm going to be a typical American male and I'm just going to follow that long cattle trail with all the other people getting married and having children. Well, no. I think you should stop when you're following, at some point when you're following those fat cows along the trough and along the pasture to your final solution of being married with fucking children, and maybe step off the path and maybe think for a couple of seconds or a couple of years at least and rethink that fucking decision. But people don't. They'll sit there and take forever to decide on what to eat or what fucking stupid university, but you know what? You can reverse that. Or that doesn't have lifelong fucking consequences, does it? If you pick the spaghetti dinner over the pastrami sandwich, it's not going to kill you, is it? It's not going to fuck up your life for the rest of your life. Same thing, it's like, oh shit, I went to USC instead of going to UCLA. Oh God. Well, here's what you do. At the end of the semester, you drop out, you transfer your credits over to UCLA, and then you go to the UCLA. No harm, no foul. But when you get married and have kids, well, guess what, boys and girls? It's a little bit tough to reverse that fucking decision, isn't it? But a lot of people, they're just, you know, I want marriage and I want kids. Great. Go fuck up your life for as far as I'm concerned. So to let me know how that turns out for you. And, well, from my experience, when people say, how did you dodge that bullet? Again, I'm not going to repeat myself. It lets me know it didn't turn out very well, did it, boys and girls? And with all the statistics, now I'm hearing a new statistics about the United States that less and less people in the U.S. are not fucking anymore. Nobody's copulating. Gee, I wonder why people want to watch my sex travel videos and go to other foreign fucking countries to get their dick wet. That must be a true statistic. Or they're buying these love dolls or sex dolls or, you know, licking their chops until the first sex robot is nuts so they can fuck at will. Anyway, but that's the thing, and that's what I did. And I didn't dodge a bullet, boys and girls. I fucking took a couple of steps back when I was 18, 19 years old, and I really thought about. Would you like to know what I thought about? How I came to this decision? No, it wasn't my mom and daddy fucking up my head psychologically, you know, to get me all anti-not. My dad has made a couple of comments, and I'll tell you about that right now. My father once told me this. He said, son, there are two hard things that you have to do in life. Two of the hardest things in life that you're going to do is, number one, get up off your ass every morning and go to a job and go to work every day and just maintain a job, especially maintain a job that you fucking hate in a sense. Number two is, if you're married and have kids, is trying to maintain a married life and a happy, well-maintained home, or even if that, or just even maintaining an unhappy marriage, an unsatisfied home life, or whatever. It's getting up every day and trying to maintain that. And you know what? It has nothing to do with dodging a bullet. It's getting up off your ass, putting your fucking foot down, and making the decision and having the attitude the way Nancy Reagan wanted me to have the attitude when I was a 12-year-old little boy in 1984, saying, what do you do when somebody offers you drugs? Just say no. Well, here's a saying. I'm going to take Nancy Reagan's comment. What do you do, everybody out there in YouTube land, when a bitch asks you, honey, why don't you ask me to marry me? Just say no. You just say no. And here are the reasons why. Now, that's my opinion. If you want to get married, if you want to have children, if you want to buy a home or a condo like mine, and really share it with somebody else's fucking rugrats or little shit children, or with a bitch wife, this is what you gotta love it more than life and sex itself. You gotta give up life, freedom, and sexuality. If you're willing to do that, if you love kids like that, like sitting at some little shit's baseball game or soccer game, or taking them to a karate dojo so they can join Cobra Kai or whatever the fuck, martial arts or whatever, or Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts or whatever. If that gives you a fucking hard on, or if that turns you on more than sex and what you want out of life and what you want to do, where you want to go, and any hobbies that you want to have, I say go for it. Get married, have kids. Vida buena, good life. Enjoy your life then. But rethink it. At least rethink it. So that's one thing my dad said. Now, getting back to my father, I got off the subject. My father also said, I go, Dad, okay, at one point I was, pretty much since I was 12, 13 years old, I didn't want kids. One of the major reasons why I didn't want kids, because it's a big fucking responsibility and cost a shitload of money. those are the two major reasons. So I'm going to start off with that. You want to know the two very basic and broad reasons why I just say no to kids? Is because it's a lot of fucking responsibility, a lot of fucking work, and over the years, it's a lot of fucking money. Fuck that. I want a bank account, I want freedom, and I want as little responsibility in my life as possible. And all that. So that's strikes 1, 2, and 3. Now, as far as marriage, when I started dating and all that, I was kind of young, naive. I believed in love. I still kind of believe in it, but you know, it's just love can kind of fuck you up at times and sidetrack you. I'm not completely bitter and angry to where I just want to fucking wash my hands with LOVE permanently. Anyway, besides the point, I thought about, well, I can get married and just not have kids. I can be one of these guys, and I was headed down that path. Well, it was finally at 24, 25, I decided fuck marriage and all that, because I started getting to know women. I started dating more and and I was starting to slowly develop this sort of MGTOW type fucking attitude. But I asked my father, I said, Dad, getting back to, you know, those of you who think, oh, your parents fucking influenced you or fucked your mind up to where you don't like. No. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'll get into more. It's society that fucked me up for never wanting to have kids or get married. People like you, douchebags out there, who make the bad decisions for me. And then unconsciously, you're so stupid, you badmouth your kids to me, you badmouth marriage to me, and you don't even know you're being so negative and so nasty and so fucking about it. You know, I've even had people with kids that say, do you want my kids? Do you want to take my kids? Do you want to smack my kids? I've had parents do that. And I never understood that. And they're trying to be joking like, ha, ha, ha. And it's just like, but you know what? I don't care. Even though they're being sarcastic, you know, single mothers and their kids and parents and their kids. I go, do you want these? Do you want some kids free of charge? You want to like do this and do that? And they kind of joke. And it's just like, hey, you know, I want to tell these people I don't have a sense of humor when it comes to children. I feel like telling that stupid single mother or that stupid cunt, hey, you could have taken a birth control. I want to look at her and say, you could have taken a birth control. He could have worn a condom. You had the choice to not bring these little fuckers. And to an extent, I feel sorry for the kids. That's what their mother is saying. That if I want to take over taking care of their kids, or if I want to do this, or, you know, some of the times I'm with the single and they say, will you smack him for me? And I go, you really want me to? Or something to that sense, or whatever. It leads me to believe that, you know, deep, deep down, they made the fucking wrong decision by having kids. And they'll deny it. It's like, I love my kids, but it's just so, you know how fucking women are. I love my kids, but I don't regret bringing my kids into this world, but if there's a but, then you shouldn't have fucking had your goddamn kids in the first place, you stupid fucking cunt. And for that reason, just a little bit, I feel sorry for the little fuckers who are brought into this world. And you know what? Those are the fuckers who climb up to a hotel room in Vegas with an arsenal of machine guns, break out the window and go, and they're fucking killing people left and right at a country western concert. A redneck hillbilly killing a bunch of redneck hillbillies. And that's because we have single mothers who say that to guys like me. You want to take kids home, or you want to take care of these, will you smack him for, will you do this and do that? And that's why, boys and girls, our jails are full. We have serial killers, we have rapists, we have date rapists, we have kids going to high schools, you know, killing other people, you know, whatever. I'm not going to get into that bullshit. But anyway, let's get back to what my father said. I go, Dad, I want to get married. My father said this. He goes, son, let me ask you two important questions. And I go, what's that, Dad? He's all, do you like sex? Do you like a regular sex life? I'm talking about at least a couple of times a week, or maybe practically every day or every other day. Do you love just getting a good piece of pussy on a very regular basis, or especially getting your cock sucked a lot? And I said, oh, fuck yeah, Dad. Okay, that's strike one, my father says. Now, do you want to have kids? Do you want to have kids or anything like that? Do you really want to have a family and build? And I said, no. He says, son, you don't want to get married. And I said, why is that? Marriage, for the most part, is really only for people who really want to have kids and build a family, and for a guy who probably loves raising kids, maybe doing activities like building a model airplane, playing catch with him or whatever, better than fucking his wife or any other slut cunt, more than anything. And again, going back now that I got on the subject of sex, your wife, if maybe not the first year, 2 years, or 5 years of marriage, if your marriage happens to last for 15, 20, 25, 30, 25 plus years, the amount of times that you're gonna be fucking that hole is gonna diminish. It's just a matter of science. It's just a matter of fact. There's no fucking way you're going to be banging your wife, getting your dick sucked as many times as you did the first year of marriage on the 20th or 15th or 30th year of marriage. If you want a lifelong of pussy, which I have, I'm 48 and I'm still going strong. Shit, I'm out here in rural Nevada and I still managed to get a piece of ass fucking Friday night. Friday night? Yes, I did. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a hunt, there's some cunt. Anyway, you know what I mean? And he just basically said that. If you're a guy who wants to get laid, don't get married. If you're a guy who doesn't want any kids, don't get married. If you do, my advice is this: you better love the child, better love your kids, doing activities and being a quote-unquote family person and mowing the lawn and helping the wife out, wash dishes and cook and mop the floor and do laundry and all this other domestic bullshit. And if you actually own a house and not live in a condo, mowing the lawn, hedging, yard work, weeding, whatever the fuck your wife might bitch at you to do out front in maintaining the property, more so than getting your dick wet, then yeah, that's my dad's advice. Therefore, my dad gave it to me. I'm passing it on to you, the dumb fuck public, to go ahead and get yourself fucking married and impregnate the wife. Now, moving on. Reasons things you should think about before getting married. First of all, question 1, what were you like when you were a child? When you were 2 years old, 3 years old, 5 years old? What were you like when you were a teenager? Well, I'm going to talk about myself. I had asthma as a kid. I outgrew it. What else? I was afraid of the dark. I always had to have a dimmer or some fucking light night until I was 12 years old. I had a lot of fucked up habits that really were a pain in the ass for parents or adults or babysitters or whatever. This has changed, but in the 1970s, if you had parents like mine who really wanted to be a regular on the party scene and the bar scene and do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Yeah, fuck that. That's a big difference between my generation and my parents and the parents, the people that were born, the baby boomers. In the 60s and 70s, people partied. Parents partied. The fact that they had 1 or 2 or 3 kids at home, they didn't. Typically what happened in the 60s and 70s, they moved in, they saw a teenage girl next door. It's like, great, honey, now we can hire her to babysit. There's no fucking way that parents do that nowadays. Great, honey, look, a teenager, somebody, because they're worried, somebody to molest our fucking kid. But people didn't think that way back in the 70s. My parents or any other parents of that generation, of the baby boom generation born between 1940 and 52, they didn't give a fuck whether a 14-year-old girl or boy was a child molester or was gonna train your 5 or 6 years old how to suck a mean dick or whatever. But now, my generation, people my age, the people that were born from 1965 to 75 or 80 and 19, they're all paranoid that hiring the first teenager that comes across. So I had 6 different babysitters. So I was raised because I had parents that worked dual jobs, parents that wanted to party, parents that wanted to get laid on the weekends in 77, 78 when I was 5, 6 years old. So as a result, it's funny. I had one girl said, "Were you raised by babysitters?" Kind of, sort of. So that in mind, that's how sort of times change, but that's the way it was. So, but I was a bedwetter until I was 12. I wore diapers until I was 5 years old. I was afraid of the dark. I wouldn't go to bed at night. My mom, I remember this. I do remember this. My mom getting so fucking pissed because I wouldn't go to fucking sleep. I wouldn't go to sleep at night. And I'm not even a fucking night owl. My mom would be proud of me. I'm the best 5-year-old child any mother can have, because now, at the age of 47, I'm in bed by 9 o'clock, and that's what my bedtime was. I'm in bed basically by 9, 10 o'clock. My mommy from 1975 would be very proud of little 47-year-old Doey now. Because now I'll go to bed by 10, but I stayed up until fucking midnight when I was 5, 6 years. And she said, anyway, getting to the point, she just threw up her fucking arms and said, "Fuck it. If you stay in your fucking room, shut the fuck up, stay up as long as you want, go to bed when you're ready." She's all, "Son, I've had it with you. I can't deal with you anymore." And I'm like, okay. So I sat at my little square Fisher-Price table and I would do like watercolors and all this faggot shit, you know, paint little pictures and draw pictures of dicks going in the pussies. No, I wasn't that perverted, not yet. But yeah, I did like finger painting and watercolor up until midnight. And then I had the light dimmed down and I had my door shut. And of course my parents were sound asleep, and then I finally would crawl over to my bed and go to sleep. And that happened. I can't remember how long, but that's kind of what my parents, and yes, I know it's a little frustrating thing, but you know what? It's shit that you got to think about if you're going to fucking have a family and kids. So, and this is honestly what I thought about. I had to reflect on who and what I was as a fucking child. Whatever fucked up thing was I with as a child. Oh yes, my sexuality. This will educate you, because you watch a lot of my videos are me about traveling around the world and fucking everything that can move, and it's like, well, yes, it did. Believe it or not, parents are in denial, but human sexuality starts when you're about 8 or 9 years old. I saw my first Playboy when I was 8. So, another problem I had, today kids got the internet to get all this perverted, they see perverted shit on screen. Me, back in the 1970s, it was different. I had live sex shows. I had the ability, I had a lot of older teenagers, people that were 8 to 10 years older than me. And what they were doing is they were making out in the middle of the street, putting their hands up girls, feeling girls' tits. And I'd be a little boy, 7, 8, 6 years old, pedaling my bike, and I would see that shit. So either way, today's millennials, they got the internet. If the parents are careless and don't put... Me, I got to see live sex shows back in 78 and 77, people making out. Not only that, catcalling was accepted. You know how everybody nowadays bitches about catcalling? Like, or hey baby, like... The common catcall yell in LA, California in 1978, 77 was this. Guys, and you know what? It was accepted. It was a compliment. Can you believe that? The teenagers and young women of the 1970s, when a guy would do this, I'll do the catcall. They'd see a hot chick in the street and they go, "Ow, baby." You know, that was the catcall of 1978. California, Los Angeles suburbs. And you know what the girl would do back? She'd turn back and she'd yell it back at you. "Ow, baby." So there you go. Now it's frowned down upon. And you know what? In some pathetic states, you can probably get arrested, you know, for that stupid shit. Oh well. That's the difference. So, yes. I was basically learned about sex early, but unlike our millennials today, I didn't have the internet. I had plenty of older teachers around showing me actually hands-on, well, visually, live, making out. I remember riding my bike, okay, by Imperial Junior High School in La Habra, California. I'm not kidding. And this doesn't happen. I don't know if junior high school kids, like around 12, 13 years old, they were all lined up. I'm not kidding. 4 to 5 couples pinned. They all had each other pinned up back where at a junior high school, it was back in the back where the basketball courts, where they do PE. They were pinned up against each other and they're making out. And I see guys like running their hands up their chest and grabbing. They're wearing, of course, those Jordache jeans that were really hot in 79 and all that. And I see the guys grabbing their ass and they got their tongue. And I saw this. And it wasn't just one fucking couple. It would be like 5 couples all going down in a row. And I'd be glancing over there. I'd be pedaling. So there you go. I knew I was onto something. And I'm not kidding, it was 5 couples. I'll tell you what, I haven't pedaled my bicycle through a junior high school basketball court, and or I can bet you $1 million I can't do that today. In 2019, I don't think I can pedal and see a group of about 5 or 6, 12, 13-year-old couples making out, kids grabbing ass and doing that. A lot has changed from 1979 to 2019 or 77 or 78. But I was only 6, 7, 8 years old. But my parents let me get out there and ride my bike wherever the fuck I wanted at that age. And nowadays, parents won't let their kids fucking leave their immediate block or whatever. Me, I was riding all over the fucking place by 8 or 9 years old. My parents didn't give a shit. But anyway, I'm getting off subject. I'm supposed to be talking about marriage. But you know what? Well, anyway, I was talking about my child. So that's right. That's all the bad. I couldn't swallow a pill. And you got to think about that shit. Then you got to think about your family's health. What runs in your family? Well, alcoholism runs in my family. My mom's a raging out. My grandfather was an alcoholic. Bipolar disorder, depression, manic depression, all runs in my family. I've had 2 family members commit suicide. My uncle and my cousin. She committed suicide at 23 years old because she was depressed. Chronically fucking depressed. Not that I'm going to go into it, but everything my cousin, who was her father, my first cousin so she was my second cousin. Everything that was tried, from pills to counseling to everything except for electroshock therapy, which my father suffered from 2 bouts of depression twice. One year was 1970. The other year was 2007. Both times, he was shocked. Now, the way that works, they put you under anesthesia, just like you're getting a surgery, and they shock you while you're sleeping. And it's not just one session. It's got to be... Now, the only long-term effects is that it fucks up your memory. You're not going to be able to remember shit, or your long-term memory. So, like, if you're trying to remember, like what I said, me riding my bike through junior high school, remembering guys grabbing girl asses and tits and making out and not coming up for air for about a half an hour from French kissing these kids or whatever, or these 2 kids not coming up from air. I'm not going to remember something like that after a number of shock therapy things, but oh well. If you're not going to be depressed and commit suicide. But anyway, so it runs in my family. My father's attempted it twice. So you got to think about shit like that. Do you really want to impregnate another bitch and bring another fucking child into that world? It's another thing. Along with the financial, the response, the work, the response. Then you got to think of the other little things. Changing diapers, getting up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when it's a baby. The terrible twos. And then when the kid's a fucking teenager, and basically talking to you like he fucking knows everything. She knows everything. You know what? I had one friend who was a parent. She just recently fucking told me. She said she's really disappointed on how all 3 of her kids have turned out. And I thought, how fucking depressing is that? She admitted that to me as their mother. And she was one of those fucking chicks who, I have to get married, I have to have kids. And probably, obviously, didn't put a lot of thought through. And then not only that, she's been having a little bit of problems here and there with her husband. And so overall, that's another reason I took in fashion. It doesn't seem like that getting married and having kids is a fucking easy life. And it's not. And I don't really feel sorry for people who are married, because my attitude is life is all about choices. If you made the wrong choice in life for whatever it was, you went to the wrong school, you married the wrong woman, you married the wrong guy, you brought the wrong, your kids didn't turn out, well, you know what? Think back to when, to how you actually thought out. Was your plan to get married and well thought out, or was just, nope, that's definitely what I want, and you really didn't consider how I'm explaining to you every little fucking factor. And yes, every little thing, to the fact that the kid's sitting at the table like this, 5 years old, refusing. Did you ever have that? My mom did that to me. I hated vegetables as a kid. So I had to sit there, and she said, you're not moving there till you eat your fucking vegetables. I thought, okay. So I sat there. Who do you think won? My mom lost. I didn't have to eat my fucking vegetables. This girl who now has kids, her grandmother, she was sort of raised by her, and her grandmother made her eat this spinach like dipped in vinegar. She said it was disgusting. So what she would do is she would take the spinach and put it, she made sure she got a brown glass with her drink, and she threw it in the brown, so she couldn't, because you know how most glasses are see-through. So she got one of those, cups that you can't see through. She said it was brown. She scooped up the spinach when she wasn't looking and threw it in there so she didn't have to eat it. Disgusting. But I think those days, I don't think there's too many parents nowadays with millennials who sit there and force them. But that was the deal back when in the 1970s. That's the way parent is parent. You had to sit there and clean your plate, or you weren't going to go outside and play, and you weren't going to do this and do that. So you know what? Even that shit, yes, I know it seems petty, but you know what? Guess what? If it happens day after day, night after night, as a parent, you're going to get fucking sick of it and really rethink on whether you should have brought this little shit into this world or onto this planet. And so that's why I thought about, yes, when I actually thought about whether I really wanted to have kids, I thought about petty shit like that. A little 5-6-year-old fucking brat refusing to clean his plate. And that's the thing that you need to think about before you become a parent. How am I going to fucking handle that? You know how this parent, this girl in Utah, this friend of mine in Utah, she says, look, she serves, first of all, she makes healthy shit that she knows her kids like. She's not going to be like, well, this is what's on the menu. If you don't like it, da-da-da-da. She doesn't have that 70s or 50s attitude. And she gives them a little bit. She says, look, kids, if you want more, you can come get more. You know what? When it comes to dinner and getting a fucking kid a finicky fucking little shit to eat as food, I think that's a good concept. And yes, I think it's petty, but yes, before all you dumb young motherfuckers between the ages of 18 and 30, before you pop out a little shit, that's a petty little thing that you need to fucking think about. Don't wait until you have the little fucking shit and then just and cross the bridge when you come to it. No. Because then you're going to come up to single guys like me and say, you want to adopt a kid from me? You want to take care of this little brat off my hands? You want to do something? You want to smack him for me? Because then you're going to be saying stupid shit like that to me. So think before you fuck. All right? And this is what I'm talking about. All you fucking people who bring children in this world, sign marriage contracts. Think. Pretend you're looking at a menu from a restaurant and you can't fucking make a decision. Or pretend you're looking at a college. Gee, is it UCLA, UC Irvine, Stanford, Yale, Harvard, Brown University? Yeah. If you did that, if you treated it like a fucking menu at Denny's or at a menu at IHOP, or, you know, trying to decide what junior college you're going to go to, and guess what? You might be a happier married with children person or whatever. Or maybe not regret it and saying stupid fucking stuff. Saying stupid fucking stuff or thinking that I'm so lucky because I don't have kids. I'm telling you, it's not about luck. It's about having a brain and fucking using it. Using common sense. But that's another thing. A lot of people are it's all ego. You fuckers, you dumb motherfuckers out there getting married, popping out children like they're fucking Pez candy or lifesavers. It's all fucking ego. It's like, I want a zero copy about yourself. Well, why don't you sit back, take a couple of steps back, look in the mirror and say, what's so great about you? See, I'm pointing to myself. What's so great about this to where you want to bring another version of you into this world? You know what? I guarantee you, if you're not the president of the United States, if you didn't cure cancer, if you didn't cure AIDS, if you didn't graduate high school or college, guess what? I got a news flash for you. Your son, your daughter, your, you know, if you fuck a dog, your little puppy, assuming you're more than an animal lover and married your dog, there are some bitches out there who would rather fuck their dog than fuck a man. Bestiality, whatever, that's cool. But let's say you're a woman who has a litter of puppies. Your litter of puppies is not going to graduate fucking high school or do whatever, or college or whatever, or accomplish in life. So in other words, the bottom line is this. If you're basically a loser, a piece of shit, an underachiever, what the fuck do you think your kids are going to be? All right? If you're a horny, or for me, if you're a horny, self-obsessed, nymphomaniac pervert who makes sex videos and traveling overseas to get laid, guess what? If I don't want that, if I don't want another person or to create a Xerox copy of somebody else doing that, or better yet, if I don't want a female. Can you imagine if I had a daughter? Can you imagine what a major fucking slut she would be? She would be riding the stripper pole. She would double fisting dicks. She would swallow cum. She would swallow so much cum. Fuck. I don't even want to think to know what my daughter would stick up her pussy. I've known girls who stuck Barbie dolls up their cunt. I knew a girl, you know those souvenir little skinny bats that they give you at baseball games, like at Dodger games? I had a girlfriend that shoved that up her twat. I'm going to stick a baseball bat up my pussy. What do you think my daughter would be shoving up her twat? If you watch some of my other videos, what the fuck? Can you imagine? Seriously, it's all biological. It's all hereditary. They're going to inherit all the illnesses that run. I told you, alcoholism, mental illness, what else? Diabetes doesn't really run. Migraine headaches doesn't run in my family. Heart disease does. PKU. I have PKU, which stands for phenylketonuria. There's a chance that I can have a child like that. So, I mean, that's kind of what you need to think about, and that's what I think it is. You're victims. You people who marry and have kids, you're victims of your own fucking ego. But that's another thing. Besides of how you fucking were as a small child and a teenager, every negative illness that runs in your fucking life, you're going to pass that on. Your libido, your mental, think about it. What is so great about fucking you that you need to make a Xerox copy of yourself? You know? Just, that's another fucking decision. And then you know what? I'm going to go as far as saying this too. If you're broke, you don't have a job, you don't have money, and you can't take care of yourself, yeah, I'm going to fucking say it. You piece of shit. You have no business in bringing life into this world, creating life. Get a fucking job. Get a fucking career. Get a fucking life. Then marry some fucking cunt and have a child. All right? That's another thing. And I'm not apologizing for that. I feel about that 110%, and I don't give a fuck what any of you have to say. And that's my biggest pet peeve with all these people getting married and having kids, is they're all a bunch of fucking poor, irresponsible, fucking worthless pieces of shit who are bringing off. And let me tell you something, I'm a firm believer in this. Poverty breeds poverty. Wealth will breed wealth. Look at Donald Trump's fucking kids. They might be stuck up, pretentious, cunts and assholes, but you know what? Ivanka has a fucking job. Ivanka has money. Ivanka can take care of herself. Well, along with the help of Daddy Donald's money. Donald Trump Jr. the same way. Barron, little shit Barron, he's going to be able to support himself. What do you want to bet? He's like 12 or 13 years old. What do you think that little fucker, by the time he's 21 or 25, is going to be able to fucking support himself? He'll be able to get a job and all that. Of course, probably with the great help from his father. But you see what I mean? That goes with anybody's wealth, anybody's money or in power or whatever. And it's just, it's not law. It's not exact science, but it's general to the norm. That poverty will breed poverty, and wealth will breed wealth. So think about that the next time you want to get married and have kids and all that shit. Anyway, sorry this video was long, but until then, until next time, until I think about another video, I'll talk to you later. Bye, bitches.